A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 13. I'm Ritwika Gupta. Tonight, the hot topic is India's GST regime set for its most significant transformation since its rollout back in 2017. For the country's 6.4 crore MSMEs, these reforms could be a potential game changer, easing administrative burdens and unlocking working capital that has long been tied up in tax processes. Let's dive straight into our cover story. Now, the new GST framework has been streamlined into two primary slabs, 5% and 18%, with a 40% slab retained for luxury and sin goods. For MSMEs, this translates into three key benefits: simpler invoicing, no more confusion over whether a product falls under 12% or 18%. The dual slab system makes compliance clearer and easier. Fewer disputes. Classification battles that drain time and resources can now come down, freeing entrepreneurs to focus on growth. Boost in demand. With products shifting from 12% to 5% or 28% to 18%, affordability improves, potentially driving consumer demand, especially for FMCG and retail-focused MSMEs. Another critical win is compliance relief. Smaller firms that once depended heavily on external consultants can now manage their processes with greater ease. The reforms also simplify registration for MSMEs selling through e-commerce platforms, resolving a long-standing challenge of interstate operations. And importantly, the government has assured provisional refunds of up to 90% to zero-rated supplies. This is expected to significantly ease working capital pressures. In short, for MSMEs, this GST overhaul means clarity, cash flow, and customer demand, a powerful combination that could fuel their next phase of growth. Well, that was our cover story tonight, and now we have Mr. Vinod Kumar, President, India SME Forum, sharing his insights on the same.
The GST overhaul, as promised by the Honorable Prime Minister and delivered by the Finance Minister and the GST Council, is more than a tax reform. It's an economic reset button for India's micro, small, medium enterprises. By rationalizing rates, slashing costs, unlocking liquidity, and simplifying compliance, it directly strengthens the financial backbone of the country's entrepreneurial ecosystem. From agriculture and textiles in rural India to healthcare, electronics, FMCG, and construction in urban India, every segment of the micro, small, medium enterprise economy benefits. More importantly, I would say this reform ensures predictability, clarity, and stability in tax policy, allowing a lot of the micro and small businesses to actually come into the tax ambit, and to those that are already there to focus on scaling rather than resolving disputes.
Let's now take a look at what some industry voices from different sectors are saying about this landmark reform. First up, Abhay Parnekar, CEO of Godrej Foods, tell us how the reforms will impact the overall food ecosystem. Listen in.
The rationalization of GST for frozen foods and meats is a progressive move that will uplift the entire category. Reduction in GST on products like frozen foods, meats, and to exempt Indian breads altogether is a step forward in strengthening both consumer confidence and industry momentum. Since food processing sits at an intersection of agriculture, manufacturing, and consumption, it has one of the highest multiplier on the economy of a country like India. You can call it a strategic bridge sector and a powerful growth engine. Just to give you two specific benefits. Number one, driving inclusive growth. We know there is typically higher women workforce participation in food processing sector. And number two, the growth will also positively impact farmer incomes and provide income stability round the year. These measures will also reinforce value creation across the farm-to-fork ecosystem by boosting farmer incomes, improving processing efficiency, and widening retail access. One big advantage I foresee is on accelerated technology diffusion at farm level. For example, there'll be increased contract farming and better quality standards as a result. In addition, this will lead to creation of cold chain infrastructure across the country, even in remote areas. Together, these measures highlight the government's commitment to building a resilient and future-ready economy for India.
Now, the GST rate on jewellery remains unchanged, but reforms like the IGST exemption on small diamond imports and GST reduction on jewellery boxes are being seen as significant reliefs. We have Sabyasachi Ray, Executive Director, Gems and Jewellery Export Promotion Council, sharing his views.
See, jewellery already with 3% and diamond at 0.25% is itself, is at the lower rung of the rates. And you have seen that the rates have been rationalized into 5% and 18%. So if the rationalized rates are there, there was no scope, that is my personal opinion, there was no scope of decreasing further for the jewellery. So jewellery remaining at the same level will be helping us. But the bigger thing which will help us is that this, as our finance minister has announced, that this will give 70,000 to 80,000 crore extra money to the customer's pocket. And that extra money, the disposable income will help us. And you are also, whatever you are capturing, that the jewellery box, it going down and etc., that will also help, So all these things together, the GST will be the big booster, because if in some levels, some 70,000 crore coming to the pockets of the customers, and in this festive season, one of the prime things what people buy is jewellery. And in that sense, in my opinion, jewellery will make a strong comeback in this festive season of buying, and GST will be one of the big reasons for this happening.
We now have Archit Gupta, CEO and founder of Clear, formerly Clear Tax.
With GST reforms and the recent GST rate cuts, the middle class gets a relief. People making from rupees 7 lakhs to rupees 15 lakhs get savings of up to rupees 45,000 on daily consumption and income tax relief of up to rupees 80,000. Savings for 2 crore taxpayers goes up by 10%. Most of them are under the age of 30. The India consumption story continues to accelerate. 75% of new demand accounts are opened by folks who are below the age of 30. They are participating very actively in the equity markets, and this trend will also accelerate. On the enterprise side, CFOs and finance teams must update all tax rates and simulate the savings and pass on those tax savings on GST to the end consumer. That is very important to do. And they need continuous controls and input tax credits and reconciliations. For this, implementing tax technology is now critical for CFOs and finance teams to not let GST compliance costs go up.
Talking about the hospitality sector, we now have Amit Damani, co-founder of Stayvista.
The government has extended an early Diwali gift to all Indian consumers. We laud the decision of the GST Council to simplify and rationalize the GST rates for the hotel and homestays segment. We expect this will give a further boost to demand in the travel and tourism industry. Particularly the mid-scale and budget hotel and homestay segment should see an increase in demand. This will definitely further encourage Indian travelers to dekho apna desh. An area that we feel that would need support from the government is if input tax credit can continue to be availed by the hotel and homestay industry. That will further encourage investment in this industry and creation of more employment.
We also now have Manish Bajoria, Chief Financial Officer, bigbasket.
At bigbasket, we truly believe this is a step in the right direction and would go a long way in making daily essentials way more affordable for our customers. We also feel that the steps announced towards our farmer partners in terms of cost rationalization would help them improve their supply chain and improve their cost efficiencies. We believe these steps could not have come at a better time given the upcoming festive seasons, and feel that they will help boost consumption and help make India much more stronger and resilient.
And finally, let's hear from Prateek Rastogi, co-founder and CEO, Better Nutrition.
We are very excited and we wholeheartedly welcome the GST 2.0 reforms. They are a great step ahead in boosting the rural economy, the farming economy of the country. For years, we have seen that the Indian soil is extremely deficient into micronutrients. The same micronutrient deficiency translates into our foods and ultimately into our bodies. The government has now moved micronutrients, small fertilizers, biopesticides from the 12% slab now to the 5% slab, and this makes micronutrients more affordable for our farmers, and they can ultimately use them, enrich their soils beyond the traditional nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium which they typically use, and this will all lead to healthier soils, ultimately healthier foods, and all of us will also benefit from the healthy food that is created. Other than this, the dairy sector has received an impetus by reduced tax slabs, and because dairy has a direct impact onto the nutritional value of the food that we eat, especially protein content, calcium content, etc. Therefore, it is going to make nutrition and dairy affordable, and the public will most definitely benefit from this improved tax slab regime.
It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.